On July 4, 1971, in San Francisco Zoo, Koko named gorilla was born. That was the first ever gorilla that was able to talk by using sign language. Isn't it surprising, right? Well, Koko by gender was a female, and the biological her mother was Jacqueline and her father was Bwana. One more interesting thing is that Koko was the 15th gorilla that born in the captivity, and Koko was one of the first gorilla that was accepted by her mother in captivity. So what does captivity mean if you're still confused? The term captivity means simply that he was born in a zoo environment or instead of in the wild, or he was taken care by people, I mean a place where people take care, right? So that's the term captivity mean exactly, to looking after animals. A bit about her name. Her original first name was Hanabi-ko, which originated from Japanese language, and its lit translation means firework child. So what does it lit mean if you're confused? So lit means literal translation. So lit means literal translation. So it could be also word by word, we can say that. As she was born 4th of July, and that's very special day because it's remind people about fireworks on the 4th of July, a day when most often fireworks are seen in the US because it's an independent day in the US. Well, later the Hanabi-ko name was changed into Koko. Why? Because it was taken or it was given by Dr. Patterson. So if you're confused about who is Dr. Patterson or why she gave or changed her name, let's talk about her later. Let's go into this more about Koko. So Koko was a kind of a special gorilla, and that was called the Western Lowland gorilla. These type of gorillas are endangered. So endangered is kind of means they are at the highest risk of like disappearing from land because they are losing their homes and they are being hunted by people. This is very hard to imagine to feeling like that. Okay, moving back, when Koko was a year old, she was very sick and was sent to the hospital. Now, finally, we're gonna talk about Dr. Patterson, as I said before, that she changed her name. So in the hospital, Koko, like she met to Dr. Francine Patterson. So Dr. Patterson made up her mind to teach her sign language, we can say that. So as it was her part of the research for Dr. Patterson, and at that time Dr. Patterson was studying at Stanford University. A brief introduction about her. Who is Dr. Patterson and why she chose her? Actually, Dr. Francie Patterson, as a now, she simply, we can say, are known for as an American animal psychologist, and she's best known for teaching modified form of the American Sign Language. Of course, she developed a sign language. We'll talk about this later also. As she calls GSL abbreviated, like Gorilla Sign Language. Now we can call this one. So let's learn about GSL, Gorilla Sign Language. Dr. Patterson and her team developed a modified version of American Sign Language. This is what I came up about earlier about this like GSL. So they especially modified this sign language to communicate with Koko. So they tried to teach over 1,000 signs that was expressing your feelings, thoughts, and desire. And Koko was able to, fortunately, Koko was able to learn or comprehend more than 2,000 like spoken English words, and which was one of the most smartest animal we could understand that human language ever studied. Koko was able to study. They was trying to communicate with Koko to teach these languages, and they modified this language because of him, and that was very surprising for me. Well, Koko became famous because she was intelligent, funny, curious, and creative, and had a lot of feelings like us. She was that much better as was able to paint or play with toys such as doll or reading or taking a look of magazine and movies, we can say. Well, Coco loved kids. Later, she had some kitten as her pets, whom with she played, and she used her sign language to give her some names of her pets, as like Albal, Lipstick, and Smoky. She felt her kids like her own, like babies, giving heartily love, and she was very disappointed when her kids left her or had to go and or had to gone. So that's what I think I can say that. Coco had some really close friends who look after her. I mean, we especially say Dr. Patterson, and that was kind of a mother to her. And Coco was also met with famous celebrities who visited her, such as Leonardo DiCaprio, Mr. Logger, and Robin Williamson, and Betty White. These are celebrities from America. So Coco died in her sleep on June 19, 2018, just recently, a few years ago, at the age of 46. That's wow, it's a big journey. At that time, she was living in the Gorilla Foundation's preserve in the Santa Cruz Mountains in the California, the US. So Coco's life and her process of learning were written down in books and articles and available in some documentaries. You can also watch some videos on YouTube. As we know, she had her own website and social media account where she used to share her artwork with our world, because she was able to paint something, or she had some ability to draw something or write something or read something. That much she understand. That's what I think we can say that. Somehow Coco inspired people and made care about gorillas and other animal in danger. Of course, she made us think about caring them. Millions of people loved and still loving. Somewhere people remember them, especially those who cared and looked after them. I mean, after her. It's of course it was really inspiring story according to my opinion. And of course, anything, if you are animal or human, if you're taking care, you still have love for them when they are gone. So that's all I think I've shared so far. And if you think this story is a little bit touching, and if you got some knowledge about her, so it will be great to get your feedback. Please kindly let me know by hitting this like button, so I can motivate to understand, okay, really you loved it. And meanwhile, try to subscribe our channel. Clicking bell icon will give you more information and more updates of our channel videos. Probably if you are thinking some kind of questions into your mind, feel free to type in the chat without any hashtag. If you would like to put hashtag Lakan, ask Lakan, you can do that. And if you would like to specify any story if you are interested, feel free to do that. I'm always here to prepare stories and try to express for you. That's all guys, thank you so much, and see you in the next videos. Love you till then.